A couple of videos ago, I told you that I wasn't running for 2 whole weeks, and it was kind of driving me mad, but I showed you like the kind of things that I was doing to get around it. I was on the bike, getting into the gym, trying not to lose my mind, essentially. Well, I'm back here with another video quite a few weeks on now, and I'm going to tell you how I'm getting back into running, what I'm doing, what my plan is for the next few weeks and months, I guess, and how I hope not to get re-injured. It might end up being a bit of a hefty video, I'm not sure how much I'm going to waffle yet, but hopefully it'll be interesting for anyone that's injured or returning to injury. But it's a lovely day outside, so let's go and talk about this outside. Okay, hopefully from this angle you can hear me and I can show things up here, various Strava activities, whatever that I'm doing. I've planned out this video. This is the extent I've gone to for this video, just to say. So, where am I at right now? Well, I've been running again for about 4 weeks, upping the mileage slowly, roughly 5 more miles every week kind of thing. And this week I've just done 20 miles, and next week I'm gonna do my first session back. Okay, that's where I'm at with the running. Gonna get back to that in a minute. Gonna do some cross-training stuff first. It's a bit more boring. So obviously that was the main thing that I did while I was injured. I'm saying I'm not injured anymore. I'm recovering, hopefully. Anyway. And I want to keep cross-training a part of my plans going into the future because I think it's actually just really important and it helps. I've been on the bike a lot and I want to go on the elliptical a bit more as well. It is slightly different muscles, but it's really useful for hitting that kind of zone 2 heart rate because it can be hard to get the heart rate up. I have done it in a few sessions and it's got easier as my legs have got stronger and more used to cycling. But just the fact that I could get on the bike for 30-45 minutes in the evening, having done a run in the morning maybe, and that acts as kind of like, basically acts as a double essentially, and just to get that aerobic base up, because I think that's probably where I am a bit weak as a runner, is my aerobic base. The longer distances my times get a lot worse, so if I can use that to help the aerobic base, that'd be brilliant. And I think cycling will probably be the main way of doing that. Hopefully I'll get my bike up in Newcastle so I can actually cycle around and not just sit in the gym, because it is summer and I'm at home in Devon right now and it's so nice to go out and cycle. I'm going to add swimming into the mix as well, so I've been on 2 swims so far, and if you follow me on Strava you will see that I'm absolutely rubbish at swimming. I am so bad, it is like laughable how bad I am at swimming. But I want to get better at that, and that's a really good form of cross training as well, really low impact on the body. Good for like upper body strength a bit as well as obviously general fitness, but I want to be able to do more than 2 lengths at a time because it's embarrassing currently. Anyway, so essentially the cross training, I'll either use it to add in another session in a week because it just doesn't give the kind of same impact on my body. I find that I can recover from it so much quicker than I can a running session. So maybe if I'm having a bit of an easier week or the legs are just a bit fatigued, I'll transition my session onto the bike instead of running, but mainly it'll be for kind of easy rides, just keeping the heart rate up a little bit for a long time to try and get that aerobic endurance. I'd also like to try and get on, if I'm doing stuff inside as well as the bike, I'd like to try and get on the elliptical as well, because I really like the bike and I've never really got on with the elliptical, but I've heard a lot of people saying that it is much more like running. Obviously it's a lot more like running, but that's probably better to translate into running fitness than biking is, if you get what I mean. So that's my plan with cross training, and conveniently enough, it's almost like I planned this. I've got a cycle ride to do, so let's go on that. I'll take you along, show you some of the views, and we'll come back and talk about running. Bike rides have been for me a great way of maintaining my fitness. It's been great to cross train. Mostly it's been in the gym, of course, which means that now when I have the opportunity to cycle outdoors, it's absolutely fantastic. I mean, look at the view. It's absolutely brilliant. It's great to have like an alternate way to training as well. It's not just all about the running, but at the end of the day, it does benefit the running as well. The sun's right behind me as well, so you probably can't see me. Bit less load on the legs and the body in general, but still working that heart in sort of aerobic capacity. And thanks to those of you that pointed it out, I do have a helmet down here, so sorry for not wearing one in the last video. I absolutely love helmets, everyone should wear them, but just didn't have one available to me, so profusely apologise for that. I think one of the things that this injury period and cycling more has taught me, that as much as I love running as my main sport, as it were, I really like exercise in general, and especially being outdoors when you do it. And I feel like if you weren't particularly sporty at school, that kind of gets not exactly drilled out of you, but not encouraged in comparison to the attitude towards the sportier kids. So I don't know, that got way too deep, way too quickly there, but basically what I'm trying to say is, didn't think of myself as very sporty when I was younger, and it's a side of myself that I'm really glad I've found, especially recently. Okay, let's talk about running then, probably the bit that you are all most interested in. So yeah, I've been running again for 4 weeks since I got injured. Pretty much everything at an easy pace so far. I did do a 22.5-minute park run, which was a little bit excessive, but mainly at kind of easy, slightly steady paces, and nothing has hurt so far. And basically the plan is to continue like that for the next few weeks at least, build up the mileage a little bit more. So I was hitting around 40 miles a week was my like peak. I was there for about 3 weeks and it was really nice. I thought I functioned really well off high mileage, but I think I'm going to take a bit longer to get there this time, and with the help of cross training I can still do that kind of volume but without that mileage. So I'd like to get back up to 30 miles. 50k is my like line that I want to sit at for a while, maybe 4 weeks at 30 miles, and then head up to 40 miles gently and see what happens. But I love running that amount of mileage, and I want to at least give another stab at it, and I'm a lot stronger than I was before. Strength and conditioning is a big part of what I'm going to do in the future, because I've got a lot stronger from this injury actually, so I think my legs will be able to handle it a lot better than they could in January when I did it originally. I'm going to get back to sessions next week. First session is tomorrow as we're speaking, so it'll be Monday, and just a really easy one, and then I'm going to get back into sessions. Going to try and up the quality a bit, so try, especially while I'm doing slightly less mileage. Rehab is a big point. I've got quite a few rehab exercises that help the shin. I'm trying to be really diligent with doing them after every single run at the moment. Almost trying to get that like professional attitude. It kind of seems not lame to do it, but yeah, a lot of runners just go out and run and that's all they care about, and it's brilliant, it's easy, they never get broken, they never get injured. But I think having been injured, I'm willing to put a bit more time and effort into all the boring stuff around it if it means I can stay running for longer, as well as the really strict parts of running, which I really love. I love that kind of discipline of the sport. I'm gonna try and have a bit of a better, healthier mentality and mindset towards it, I think, in the future, and towards training in general. And for that I'll let John on a run go and tell you about it, because I'll probably get very soppy about it. And so if you just like the discipline stuff and you don't need to hear about the more holistic side, you can skip over this next bit. But I think it's quite important for everyone at whatever level you train at to just remember to enjoy it. So here is John on the run, and hopefully he won't be just talking utter shite at you. One thing I'm definitely taking into consideration as I come back to running is my enjoyment, especially when it comes to the easy runs. And coming down to Devon for a bit has really helped with that, where I'm going off-road onto the moors, up hills, like not caring about heart rate, not caring about pace, just doing what I feel like is an easy pace. I've been running long enough to be able to kind of trust my effort levels, and I know when I'm overdoing it, and that'll just help me to explore a bit in my runs as well, rather than thinking, oh, it has to be flat because I want to hit this pace and this heart rate. It's an easy run, like just go and enjoy it. It means you get to see nicer places. Usually when I've come down to Devon, I've been trying to find flat places to run and things and trying to keep my heart rate down, whereas actually the places right on my doorstep are so fun to run around. You just have to slightly change your mindset essentially, and that's where we get a bit into my mentality going forwards. Just got held up by a flock of sheep. You see, you don't get that on this flat city run, do you? So following on from that mentality thing of just being a bit less strict on myself, I love the discipline side, and I'm going to try and like keep even mileage each week and everything. But I think one thing I've learned from being injured is to be a bit less protective over the Strava graph, how everything looks, and take training a bit less by the numbers and more about how you feel, because I had such a perfect Strava graph before I got injured, and now I'm a bit more willing to let it go. I would love a perfect Strava graph, but if my legs are feeling heavy on a Saturday and I need to skip the Sunday long run, I don't think I'll care in the future if that affects the mileage. If that's going to benefit my training in the long run, it's not going to get me deeper in a hole. I'd rather do a shorter run than do the long run and get myself into a hole. Similarly, kind of not getting too bogged down when life gets in the way. Like, I'm not a professional runner. 99% of the people that love to run aren't professional runners and never will be. So as much as I'll take my training seriously, just that if life gets in the way, if you've got a social event, if you're hungover, whatever, like, you don't have to run. Skipping one day isn't gonna be the end of the world. And I know that this is quite ironic coming from me, seeing as I think my attitude in January would have been, it very much is the end of the world. Okay, but what about my race plans for the next few months? Let's sit down and talk about this. Okay, some races. So first of all, I have actually got a race in this week as you're watching this video. On Sunday I'm doing the Bladen race, but I'm obviously not racing it properly. I'm not fit enough to, and don't really need to, so that'll be Bladen steady run. I don't even know what kind of speed I'm going to go out at. And then the only other race that I've got in the diary is Great North Run, which I'm doing again this year. But again, that will not be a race. I'm planning to run that with a friend, and I think if I can run that comfortably under 1:45, I'll be happy. I'm not going to try and go for a PB. Other than that, I want to try and just do the races that I fancy in some ways. I want to try and get back to my 5k PB, and then I want to get sub 18, which I really think can happen. I thought that could happen before I got injured, and I never got the chance to prove it. So sub 18 is coming by the end of the summer. I'm going to say that, hopefully. I thought when I got my 18:27 PB that my 5k time was kind of done and I wanted to move on to other things, but I just think there's still more in that distance for me, and that's a distance I really enjoy. I enjoy the training for it, and I enjoy the racing of it. That being said, also want to get my 10k time under 40 minutes, because I think it should be, or just get my 10k time down for a start. That race in Exeter, which there is a video of, just didn't go very well and isn't very representative of my fitness, I don't think. And then I planned, as you saw in my track race video, to have a track season. I really wanted to try more 1500s, get good at that, some 3Ks, maybe even an 8 just for fun, and that to be a real focus. That's not going to be a focus anymore. I think it's a bit, I don't need to focus on that yet. I think it's a bit hard on the legs for a start. But I'm going to do a couple of track races. I'm determined to get back on the track, I think, for at least one more race this year. Just fun and to train towards the kind of 5 to 10k stuff. Have no plans currently for a half marathon, although I would like to get an official half marathon PB, so maybe winter, that might be the start of our target. That's basically it for plans. Kind of just getting generally fitter at the moment, getting back to where I was. I'm going to enjoy exercising in the summer because this weather is absolutely beautiful. The other thing, of course, is my beloved NUAXC. I've finished uni now. I'm leaving uni, so I'm leaving the club basically as well, which means I need to find myself a new club. So I'm intending on staying around the Newcastle area. So any guesses at which club I think I'm going to join, put them in the comments, and you'll see that announcement coming over the next couple of months, hopefully. That's basically it. What I'm trying to say is you should stick around, because there's going to be loads of good videos. I've already got plans in the works. I'm filming a session video kind of about Coros and about a heart rate monitor tomorrow. We'll be filming Bladen race, obviously. and there'll be plenty of other videos to come with fun things. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you did enjoy, and I hope I didn't waffle too much. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.